Welcome. Just following the content I uploaded where I have done full circle on harm reduction. I have just had a phone conversation with someone who is in the nursing industry. This person is a registered nurse, a community nurse, and a midwife. And I was discussing with her how in this particular country in the 1990s, where they had implemented harm reduction for heroin, and then realised that they were enabling and that everyone from around the world would come to this country, and because that's where you could get your heroin, and it just spiraled out of control. And they then realised that they had made a mistake and then forced people into treatment. And as a result, they now have one of the lowest drug use of heroin in the world. This particular person who I just had the phone conversation is a very wise person. She said to me that she has actually read research where harm reduction has actually helped countries with their drug problem. And in particular, she named Poland. She said that, and I totally agree with her here, addiction is not a criminal thing and should not be, like, criminals should not be stigmatized. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Addicts should not be stigmatized as criminals. Those who manufacture and sell drugs are criminals, and those who steal to get money for their drugs are criminals. But an addict who's just high at a music concert or on the street is not a criminal. So a guy or a girl sitting at home having a joint is not a criminal. And this particular person also said to me that it has been shown that in the past, putting addicts, and I agree, addicts should not go to jail, by forcing, in the past, especially in Australia, we criminalise drugs. And even if you just have a habit, an addiction, you are seen as a criminal, and you can even go to jail. So while you're in jail, you're forced to go to jail, you get clean. So you're forced to go to jail because it's seen illegal here. Addiction is illegal. So you're forced to go to jail and you come out clean. How many of those people, those addicts, this person said to me in the phone conversation, who've gone to jail, got clean, come back out, straight back onto the streets and get straight back onto the drugs? So they wisely said, forcing someone into treatment may not work. When you force someone to do something against their will, they're only going to resent you and go out and go back to drugs. I argued that the addict isn't in their right mind. The nurse replied to me and said even if they're not in their right mind, it's still a choice and they're choosing to use. Who are you to tell them that they can't use? Who are you to tell a person what they can and cannot do, even if it's illegal? So I had to eat humble pie. I still think harm reduction is wrong, but I don't know the answer. And this nurse said to me, this is a very grey area, because what are you going to do with, say, a diabetic who's not listening and drinks Coke? They're ill. Or what about people with eating disorders? They're ill. The eating disorder is a mental illness. Are you going to institutionalize them? She even went on to say that people who say, I'm going to commit suicide, they won't admit them unless they have a suicide plan. So the mental health situation at the moment is, unless you are at risk of injuring or harming you, others, or property, will there be intervention. So help me out here. Here I was thinking I was doing the right thing, thinking that a drug addict is sick and sick people need treatment. But this nurse is correct. Yes, they may be sick, just like the diabetics sick, but it is choice. And I'm taking away their choice. So this is the end of that conversation, and I'm going to do a third video because it is also related to drugs, and it talks about the lie we've all been told and probably why many of us are addicts. And I'm not talking about just drugs. I'm talking about any type of addiction. The lie we've all been told. And I'll come back to that in another video. Keeping it short and sweet this time. Love you. Cherish every moment. Love the best you can. And every life matters. And maybe I haven't got it right, but I don't know what the answer is. Drugs are here and drugs are gonna stay. And something does have to be done. And just, very, very quickly, I said to I said, AODS, Alcohol and Drug Services, knew I was a drug addict and didn't offer me rehab. Yet, when I got clean, they offered me rehab. And she said, that's it. Rehab only works for people who have chosen to want to get clean. I leave it with you. What is the answer to our drug problem? I respectfully ask you to watch documentaries on what's going on with the drug situation in San Francisco and get back to me with a comment on how we should treat our drug addicts. Always come with the best intent, with the best heart, because I love everybody. And as I said, please watch video 3 because it will hopefully be enlightenment. Bye.